All right. So we are a little late because I just got back from vacation. If you can't tell, there's a little bit of sun. It's not as bad as it was supposed to be. Okay. Again, couple of things. Don't use AI. Pay your workers. Any of you who want to talk shit about Eric Limbeck, go fuck yourself. 3, anyone who captures photos for these fucking episodes, upload them in a JPEG format that is usable to get screenshots for. I'm so sick and tired of hunting on Google and all you idiots upload all your shit or save them in a file format that you have to have 16 different types of things to try and get a usable JPEG that is in 1280 by 720. It is so irritating.
Mm-hmm.
We
all know the struggle.
I was borderline having to stroke every single day when we did the fresh takes for freaking Evangelion because the format was off initially. Stop doing it. JPEG works. Anyway. So, we are on the finale, and I got a giant chunk of it spoiled because I was gone.
Same, but that's kind of my own fault because I'm addicted to all the social medias.
Yeah, I got one part, which was just, it was a character who was still around, so they had to do something. But, so, we start out, and we get the phone call between Nick and Priscilla, which is just like, haha, I might not make it back. Nick Fury might die.
Sure.
Okay. No one saw the Marvels trailer. Yeah, so they have that conversation, and I guess we can figure out now that the phone call that they had was either Nick to Gaia or it was Nick to Sonya or both. Because he didn't call in anyone else whatsoever. And that is where, because I saw a screenshot, I kind of knew that wasn't Nick.
Oh. Right.
Because it leads up to a part in that episode where, like, cool, he got put in a situation that's going to kill Nick. I know that's not Nick. But yeah, so I like the deception point with Sonya. She's proving to be probably the best addition out of this show.
It also just helps that Olivia Colman is clearly just having the time of her life playing this character.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm going to be honest with you. Gravik still kind of sucks as a villain.
drop the kinda. He sucks.
He sucks.
I love the actor, and his name is Kingsley Ben-Adir. He's actually great in Barbie as one of the Kens.
Oh, he's nice. I still haven't gotten to watch Barbie, and I'm doing that tomorrow. So I'm excited he's in it because the guy's great. He has handed nothing.
Absolute jack squat.
Absolute jack squat. He was not making it out of this, and they knew that, and he is jobbed out hard. And, anyway, so yeah, it's weird. But
before we get too far away from this, I want to address the typical MCU long shot rumor. Was there any credibility at all to the stuff about Quake ending up in this series?
I never believed that for a minute. I just believed that was a website going, they're starting to add all this stuff back in the MCU. I bet I could get some clicks if them stupid bastards ain't just dip, boop. There's a picture. Everyone just looks at it, clicks it, and doesn't read the fucking article.
That's what I thought.
No, like right now, I tell you, in Deadpool 3, every character that has ever existed in Fox or Sony is going to be in that movie, apparently.
I've heard that.
Every single one of them. That movie's going to have 9 billion characters, if you believe the internet. Like, people, I love how instantly it was like, Quake got introduced with this. It's like, what purpose? Who outside of Fury has Fury and Sif, who were two characters that got put into Shield, the Agents of Shield, and then pulled back out, did not start in Agents of Shield, have appeared
Yeah, exactly.
since the show came out. Fucking no one is the answer for 500, Alex. Could you come back? Yeah, but they haven't done it with anyone else. That is the one where they're like, yeah, we're just gonna know. Sorry. We're good.
I just wanted to get that out of the way before we get too deep into. I'll be honest. I don't think this episode's as bad as people have made it out to be, but
it's not great.
There is a montage when Fury gets to the hospital and is like talking to. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This is more towards the end after the president makes that very not great speech about killing all the Skrulls or killing all aliens, period.
Yeah.
But like that montage when Fury's calling President Ritzel, like a lot of people have said like that should have been like the whole series, and I'd be lying if I said I disagreed.
Yeah. Again, this was proven on the few shows that you let have more than 6 episodes. Stop. This 6-episode shit needs to end.
In my opinion, the only show that succeeded in its 6-episode format and is Loki, which makes me laugh even more because it's the only one that's getting a second season.
At this current moment, I'm not saying they need to be 24 episodes, but have the availability to go to 7, 8, 9, 10 max. Daredevil's going to be 18, isn't it?
That's I don't know if that's still true, but it has been true for the longest time.
All of them don't need to be 18, but I'm just saying you could go up to 10 and I wouldn't be upset. And that's still not a monolithic binge to watch through. Like, you're not doing we need to make random episodes about people having drug addictions that add up to nothing that happened in 4 different seasons of Arrow. Like, we don't need to do this. Those are shows that I love, but they get bogged down with just stupid shit because they needed to cover a certain amount of time. And this one's like, we're not going to do that. We're going to make them nice, easy, and breezy. And they are. But you introduce things and then sometimes rush the piss out of them because you're always going to this freaking 6-episode thing. This is like the dumb. What was the thing with Disney cartoons where they only got so many episodes? What was the number?
65.
65, yeah. At least that was 65. At least they were like, we're going to play around and do whatever. But so anyway, the one interesting detail about Gravik, and it's the only one, his disguise is the first human that Fury made him kill.
And the fact that we find that out like at the 11th hour is disappointing.
It's kind of a thing to be like, guys, he's not lame. Wait for this reveal. No, that made him even more lame because that's the coolest thing about him. Like, what?
His motivation kind of boils down to like, you didn't keep your bargain, so I'm gonna retaliate. Yeah.
But I will tell you, along with the tolerance thing that Fury said to Talos, when he was talking about like how they said they couldn't find the Earth. So they actively said this time that they looked for planets. It took until the last episode where they actually admitted that they looked. It took so long, and Nick never said, yeah, we actually looked at active planets. It just seemed like they never tried. They finally admitted it to just the one guy.
Mm-hmm.
But the honest statement from him where it would be like, it would be easier to save 8 billion people than to try and change their hearts and minds. That is an unbelievably honest and cripplingly true statement.
Oh, 100%.
There's no way you would have made everyone on Earth go, what? We're just going to let shapeshifters live here? What do you mean? How do you know they're all good people? You can't prove that. How do you know that one of them didn't change their mind and just fucked off to somewhere and is killing random people? Like, you can't keep track. What are you going to do? Okay, we're going to plant trackers in all the Skrulls. And then the Skrulls are going to go, well, what, you don't trust us? We need to have trackers? And it's going to be like, for anyone who's to play Detroit Become Human, are they just going to be in a boop, pop-off stickers where they could just pop them out? You can't do things like this. It's a lose-lose on both ways.
Exactly.
Yeah, and the weird part, I thought they were going to pull a different twist than what they did. I love also, this is the third time in the show they mentioned Carol Danvers by name and she doesn't show up.
Now, why that is, who knows? Scheduling, maybe that's like part of COVID protocols that like.
I don't know, but like there's multiple scenes in this where there's a max of like 10 people. Most of the stuff in the scene is 2 people talking to each other.
And yet somehow this entire series costs like 212 million.
How? I'm going to guess it was all the CGI budget at the end because that actually looked pretty good. But
it did.
Yeah,
admittedly.
but yeah, they mentioned Carol Danvers. I guess if you're going to mention that they want the strong stuff, Carol did bring down an entire carrier in one shot just because she was pissed off and heard stuff was happening. And then Kevin Feige like says at an event, well, I don't know if Carol Danvers is the strongest Avenger we have still. Kevin, are you actually kidding me right now? Unless you are going to put in comics accurate Sentry, Carol is one-shotting anyone short of Thanos at this point. I'm sorry, she is.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you that don't know comics accurate Sentry, go look it up. Him and the Void is one of the scariest things ever. But yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong or if I'm misremembering. Didn't the harvest formula look green in the last episode?
It did, but I'll concede that maybe it was just the lighting.
Because, like, I just thought it had the tinge of, like, no matter where he went with it, it looked green. Like, when he handed it to Gravik, I'm like, that container's clear.
Yep.
I honestly thought he was going to hand him some bullshit and then it not work and then give the real one to Gaia. And then when he got trapped in with it, I'm like, no, that's Gaia as Nick, and she's going to get it too.
Okay, good. Because at first I thought that just was Fury, but then I'm like, wait a minute, why is Fury like, coughing and looking all disheveled?
Well, he would, because remember, they are in a nuclear site.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, and he had to take the pills and stuff because Nick's not exactly a spry young fellow. He doesn't have the... Oh, shoot. I can't remember if Nick takes it, but there's a thing in the comics that Black Widow takes that makes her like look eternally young, and she ages like 100th as much as like a normal human. She has some form of like super soldier type serum that makes her age super slow, have a good endurance, better healing, and all this bullshit, but like no super strength. She's just like survives better. And I think Nick takes it too, but I cannot for the life of me remember what it is. So and then that's not how Nick is in this. Nick's a normal human. Like he gets hurt. But so correct me if I'm wrong. Was the classified file that gets handed to that dude in the Humvee just the order to attack Russia?
I think so. I don't know what else it would be.
Yeah, I didn't know either. I just thought that was really weird that we needed an entire scene to show that Humvee when he could have just been like, hey, do the thing. I am the president. So then we get to the Gaia and Gravik fight, which is probably the best thing in the entire show.
Yeah. I'm like my only criticism of it is just how this series started and how versus how it ended.
How it was a spy thriller that just ends in a big CGI slap fight.
Like this has happened way too often with these Marvel shows that I get it. It's like, you know, superhero fights are kind of just par for the course, but for television, you can be a bit more creative.
Mm-hmm.
Not every story needs to end in a big blowout battle.
No, it doesn't. Like, that's why a lot of people still talk about Doctor Strange's ending.
Yep.
Because it was very creative. And so that's also, like, we're kind of just going to cut to the end and then go back. It's another reason why Gravik sucks as a villain. Like, Gaia has been a person who just kind of got information and then did plans and wasn't shown to be, like, an expert fighter. They get this fight going, and it's kind of even till the end, and then Gravik just gets his ass handed to him. Like, you were going to be the dude that led everything. You had the powers of all the Avengers, including Carol, and one of your like lower powered high recruits just whoops your ass and knows how to manipulate those powers better than you. And you're the one who's been pining for this, and she found out about it like 3 days ago. Gravik sucks.
Yep. Again, great actor, bad character.
Absolutely. But like the kill shot's great.
The kill shot is amazing.
And yeah, and here comes the point with me where, and now it bugs me because we found out that all those Secret Service agents weren't Skrulls, and we were talking about how Rhodey was point blank talking as a Skrull in front of Secret Service agents, and then nothing happened. Now we found out they were all actual people that they all tranked and sat down, or at least we believe there was no confirmation that they weren't Skrulls, but I would assume she would have just shot them if they were Skrulls. And we've also learned, because of Sonya, that you don't need to kill a Skrull in order to prove that it's a Skrull. If you shoot them in a body part, their green will flash around and they can't hold it. And it's why when Sonya was interrogating her boss at the time, we have this big, intricate scene at the end where we need to decide if the president is going to trust Nick Fury or Rhodey because he doesn't know if Rhodey is a Skrull. Oh. Olivia Colman has him at gunpoint. Shoot him in the fucking hand or foot and show him! It would take 2 minutes!
But no, they gotta drag this out because it's Rhodey and it's Fury, and Fury is the most wanted man in America. Apparently.
No. Both of those characters have shown that they would not give a shit, and they would have iced Rhodey to show it. But no, you have to wait until Rhodey's about to kill you before you kill him. That is breaking, and it's out of their character. I'm sorry. That moment was fucking stupid.
Oh no, I don't disagree, but there's gonna be a lot of excuses for it.
Even if you don't, stab him in the fucking hand up against the wall. Oh, it's green. Cool. President, mind if I ice this fool? Absolutely. Boom. I'm going to just be dialing the army to not shoot off that nuke. That would have chopped 20 minutes off of this, and you wouldn't have had all the conflict. They would have had mimosas while the fucking CIA was cleaning up the mess. Like, what were we doing? There's a couple of those moments in here where they break throughout the whole show where they just don't realize a moment is happening, where they're trying to make it this cool spy thriller, but they forgot what they did in previous episodes. Like Rhodey in the previous episodes should not have been said all that bullshit if those were legit CIA like guards that are guarding him. And it doesn't prove that they aren't. And it doesn't prove that they are. And just, so, and then we get the moment where he has this big speech that designates that basically all this a bill to designate like the murder of all Skrulls and all this. Here's the thing, Prez. There was an unfiltered, not from anyone that was in the moment who you're not trusting, moment on television where it showed that Talos saved your ass.
Mm-hmm.
And Talos works with Nick Fury. All of them are bad? Your ass is alive because of Gaia. And I'm pretty sure Nick Fury told you that. It might not have been shown on screen, but I bet you he let you know. And I know that he told you because it was during the part where he said that if you launch the nuke against the Skrulls, that you'd kill all those diplomats and some of the Skrulls that are trying to help you. Are you kidding me? Mr. Ritzel, what are we doing? That is one of the, we need to have the plot point in order to make it happen.
What's frustrating about this show is all 6 episodes were directed by the same person, but they had different writers for each episode. And yes, pay your writers, pay all of your people fair wages.
But that also goes to show the same thing, paying fair wages. Most of the time now, and I like was watching videos of writers talking about this, that proves a point. Why didn't they just have one writer the entire time? Why? Because they didn't want to pay a writer for the entire time. They wanted to pay 6 separate writers a smaller fee instead of one to one person.
Yeah, this industry is broken.
This industry is ridiculous. Not even that. Like, I messaged you yesterday off your Twitter question from my local theater owner about how distribution works.
It's a bloody mess.
Oh my goodness gracious. It's so dumb. But yeah, then we get this montage of Order 66 going on and all these people getting killed live on camera around the world even. And you know what this kind of feels like? This feels like comic Civil War. Where like regular people are like now trying to go after after Skrulls and stuff like that. Now it's more of a, are you going to side with the Skrulls or are you not going to? And we are going to try to identify Skrulls. And like, it almost feels like that they're going to take that angle with it. I don't know if that's just me assuming, but that's what it kind of felt like. And now you see Gaia walking down an alley, and Olivia Colman's character Sonya walks up on her, and I'm just like, I swear to God, if you have Sonya take her down, I'm punching a hole in my monitor. And then all of a sudden she's just like, I hope you have an army. She's like, no, I'm not that stupid. I'm like, thank God.
No. I think what she's doing is, you know what? I actually don't know what she's planning.
Well, she said she wants to make it a safe world for both. So
she's basically doing what Fury can't.
What Fury can't. And then they find this bunker filled with what might be hundreds, if not a couple thousand people in way more advanced cryotech or stasis tech than what the other ones were held in.
Yeah, that's concerning.
Why were only those 6 in the janky makeshift pods and all these, I don't know, less important people were in a more secret bunker that was better built?
Questions. I have lots.
By the way, were we supposed to recognize the dude that Gaia pulls the thing off of?
I can't recall seeing this guy before.
I can't either. I didn't know why they gave that guy a thing and then just whatevered it. But so man, Nick Fury is so weirdly placed in this series. You have this whole thing where like this is him being the most wanted man alive, and then we can't always depend on superheroes, and I need to do this thing. I need to settle it. I can only trust me. The ending sequence is him coordinating between Sonya Fallsworth and a jacked up Super Skrull. And like they also have this whole thing of like this other plot that they only brought up when Nick was around Priscilla about like, do you love me as a human or as a Skrull? It felt like there was a whole lot of stuff that got put into this that would have been a lot better if they would have eliminated like 4 plot points and just left it to Nick trying to figure out how to take this down.
Yeah, see, this is exactly the problem with like crunching the story down to 6 episodes.
Hmm.
And did you notice that after like episode 3, the runtimes were like shortened from 55 minutes to like 35, 37?
Yeah, thought that was kind of weird. You got less and less time as you're introduced to more and more stuff. And again, I don't know if COVID did that, but yikes. You just, it'll be interesting to see how Echo is. And then are Echo and Ironheart both shot and just ready to go, or they needed to do still shoot?
Give me
Echo's got to be, because they said they're going to release everything all at once. So I would say they're pretty freaking confident that thing's done. But
as far as I know, I'm pretty sure Echo is done, and it's
because they put a release date out for it, didn't they?
November 29th, 2023.
That's what I thought. And they said they were all going to be released at once. So I'd say they were pretty confident. But yeah, I'm interested to see post this what the first new one they shoot is like and what the episode length is going to be. Like, I think honestly 9 or 10 would be perfect for an episode length, unless you know you only need 6.
Yeah. Like, tell the story that you need to tell. Don't feel like you have to rush to meet a certain quota.
Yep. Exactly. But anyway, so we then and this is what's going to lead into, I guess, probably what the plot of the Marvels is. The Kree want to have peace talks with the Skrulls. And there's going to be a summit that Nick wants Priscilla to be there for. So I'm going to assume that's what the entire plot of the Marvels is going to be, because where else are you going to do that plot?
I'm checking to see if that actress is going to be in the Marvels.
She is. It's probably only for a few minutes.
Probably.
Because she said all of her work is back on Earth. But yeah, then you have that. Before they go away, they have the cute moment where he accepts her in her own skin. And I'm like, if you would have made more importance of that throughout the show, I'm like, I get it. You had those moments, but it was only where Nick was with his wife. Like, if there was other people saying that Nick like had problems with possibly marrying a Skrull, like they never showed where Nick would have an image issue. He's just okay with accepting shit. That's been shown throughout a lot of movies.
Yeah, I think too many ideas got crammed into this series that not all of them were paid off effectively.
No, Pat's putting it lightly. But did you find out?
I did not see her in the cast. That doesn't mean she won't be in it. It's just I
No
don't
one
have
can-
that information at the time.
No one can confirm it because they didn't see her. And everyone also, my God, do not 1000% trust IMDb.
Oh yeah, before a movie, IMDb is like the boy who cried wolf.
Also, sometimes even after. Like, I remember when I first watched The Flash, the guy who played Joe West was in the credits of The Flash as the Reverse Flash in episode 3. Someone went in and changed it. And then they're like, well, that just means they can't do that. They can't go and edit IMDb. I'm like, how stupid are you people? It's not exactly a crackdown Fort Knox website. And then they're like, well, it's the same thing on Wikipedia. I'm like, that's your next argument? Really? Wikipedia? Good Lord. But yeah, that's all I got. It's all right, but I will say, after coming off the back of She-Hulk, this was kind of lackluster. Like, it's not horrible, but they did not know what they wanted to do with this.
I hate to say this, but this kind of feels like what She-Hulk was making fun of.
Mm-hmm. Kind of does. And it's weird that they had one go that hard on making fun of it right before they released this.
Almost sounds like a cry for help
Right.
within the studio.
It kind of does. Especially considering what Tatiana Manzolini said today.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw those comments.
But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. It's not one of the ones I'm going to rewatch. I like some stuff that happened in it, but it's not one that I'm going to like go out of my way to suggest to people. Like, I'll suggest it, but I won't like say you're losing yourself if you miss out on it. Like, I'll just tell you what happened.
Now here's the question. Does this series, I guess, matter in terms of continuity? Like, pushing aside the revelation about Rhodey, how he was apparently.
Oh, by the way, speaking of Rhodey's legs aren't working in the Secret Invasion finale, and he used leg braces in Infinity War and Endgame, but his legs are totally fine in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which means Rhodey has been replaced by the Skrulls after Endgame.
I heard he's been a Skrull since Civil War, which
I don't believe that.
Endgame after Endgame makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because you know,
because why would he all of a sudden need leg braces? They would have took x-rays of him after Civil War to figure out he needed leg braces.
Right.
Nah, that's after Endgame. Like, that's just going up. That's a pretty good continuity marker for his legs working or not, because the Skrull ain't gonna fake that.
Then again, when Skrulls assume the form of like, you know, another person, they also like take their memories too?
If they have the person.
Right.
Yeah, and again, they're just gonna say, nah, got something from Stark, I'm all good. Like, who's not gonna know?
True.
It's Rhodey. But anyway, you were saying before I interrupted you about continuity.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, like, okay, take Fury for example. He starts this series coming down to Earth from Saber.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the show, he's right back where he started.
Yeah.
So.
But he's wearing an eye patch again.
But he's wearing an eye patch again.
And he doesn't wear a hat. Continuity matters, Mike! When did he get the eye patch back? Go ahead.
Okay, but that's the question. Like, if you're one of those people who is very selective when it comes to the MCU, like, would it matter at all if you just didn't watch this series?
Okay, so things that are added because of the show. Nick has his eye patch back. Eye patch matters. We have Gaia, superpowered Gaia, who's just around. Probably not going to even be a thing until an Avengers movie. Sonya, again, probably not going to be a thing until an Avengers movie. The president makes the call to basically exterminate all Skrulls. And the Kree are having the peace treaty. Did I miss anything?
And then Rhodey.
Well, Rhodey was a Skrull. Skrulls are around us, kills all Skrulls.
Okay, so
like Rhodey's gonna say, yeah, I had some shit happen, blah blah blah. But you want to know what that's gonna show up in? Armor Wars.
Yep.
So I'm sure he's gonna address that. God, if Armor Wars is still happening. But anyway, so like those are the big ones that are actually gonna cause a that could be brought up later. Gaia, probably not until we get till an Avengers movie. And then it'll just be someone will be like, yeah, Nick's going to identify her as blah, blah, blah. Sonya Falsworth, who probably won't even show up on screen in an Avengers movie, will probably be a phone call or will be mentioned by name by Gaia.
Probably.
So then we have the Skrulls peace treaty will likely be the entire point of the Marvels. And then they will be like, and then Nick's would be like, cool, that's probably a good thing because the Skrulls are being hunted on Earth. Whoop! And then Nick has his eye patch. You honestly could give someone Sparks notes, and this isn't going to really matter.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. And like, here's the other thing: not every comic fan reads every single comic.
God, no.
Like, first of all, that's just fucking impossible. And
it is.
And second, for the most part, you know, if you're reading like Batman issue 673 and characters show up who you've never met before, they'll direct you to where they were introduced.
Exactly. Or it'll be in God, because we're talking about DC again, depending on what freaking reset they did. That'll be a new version of the character anyway.
Exactly.
What happened? Perfect example, Red Hood. Do you have Red Hood who got thrown in a Lazarus pit by Ra's al Ghul, who was trying to make it up to Batman for the Joker killing him? Or do you have him coming back from the dead because Superboy Prime punched a hole in reality?
God, that's so dumb.
One? Yeah. We're not making that up, people. That is what happened. He punched a hole in reality. Comics are stupid. And I say it in the best way possible. Comics are dumb. Look up Superman Reign, by the way. Mary Jane dies because Peter's semen is radioactive. Ha ha! But anyway, yeah, it was all right. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's another thing in the books. And again, I'm happy it was shorter, but make it like 10 episodes. I think this would have been perfect with 10 episodes.
Same. So the next one is Loki season 2, which
that comes before Echo.
Yeah, that's October.
Oh wow!
And then
I thought that was.
And then November is the Marvels, and then Echo.
And then Echo. Wow. I'm quite looking forward to season 2 of Loki. That's gonna be good.
Same.
Yeah, we're probably gonna get a lot more plot in that. Man, that is so weird. They've hinged so much this crap on freaking Kang now. Now I don't know what the frick is going on.
It's gonna be awkward. It's gonna be awkward.
You know what they need to do? If it's just like all hope is lost on Jonathan Majors, I'm gonna be honest with you. The mannerisms and how Jonathan Majors acts as most versions of Kang. You should just get Denzel Washington.
I'm not opposed.
I'm just saying, You want an intimidating, all carrying on person who's going to have one role that goes and can look intimidating. It's him. He ain't going to look ripped as Jonathan Majors, but he doesn't need to. Just saying, if you're going to have one role for him, King would be pretty good. And he like the mannerisms, the annotations, and like just how he speaks. It's pretty close. But yeah, anyway, yeah, Mike, where can everybody find it?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. You can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. You can also find us on YouTube, on Podchaser. Subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/Renegade Pop Culture. Listen to all of our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. Need an escape? So do we.
Absolutely. And you can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero, mainly on Twitch and YouTube. And if for anyone that likes Marvel Spider-Man and has a PS5, I will be giving away a digital deluxe edition of the sequel, Marvel Spider-Man 2, on my Twitch channel at the midnight release of the game. All you need to do is be subscribed to my Twitch channel and be watching. And as you're going in, I will put a display thing on the screen where you just have to type it in. You will get one entry because of your subscription. You can't get more from subscribing more. I'm not going to try and ask more money out of people. It's just one subscription. And you got $5 to win something that's worth $80. It's an automated thing. It'll just spin a wheel, get a winner, and then do it all. It'll be none of my being. It'll be all on the streaming service that I use. So yeah, if you're interested, just be there around that time. Until next time, we will see you all later. Bye.